What's up guys, my name is Soulless Baby, and today I want to discuss my first impressions of the Division 2 beta, some of the things I noticed that I like and don't like about it, and how I feel like it's going to do overall. I want to start off by saying, right off the bat, if you didn't like the first Division, you're probably not going to like the sequel that we have here. Now don't take this the wrong way guys, I'm not saying that this is a bad game, but I think we can all agree that it feels pretty darn similar. And by that I mean the gunplay and the mechanics that the game has just haven't changed. As soon as I was in the tutorial mission, it made me feel like I was playing Division 1. So for anybody that loves this franchise, I think this is going to be a welcome experience for you. And make no mistake, it is different from the original in many aspects, but the fundamentals of the game have remained unchanged, and depending on your opinion of it, it is either a good thing or a bad one. But as far as the gameplay goes, I can't really fault it there. It's fairly fluid, and I don't feel like I'm hindered much by being in third person, which is usually a huge problem for me because my brain is trained for first-person shooters. The glitches that we were seeing with the first part of this beta seem to be the ones that you would expect. Some server-side issues, graphical bugs, and audio static from a game that's, let's be honest, not quite done yet. In my opinion and experience playing this game, I don't believe any of these little issues that are present would make me hesitant to purchase this title at launch. And honestly, as far as betas go, they're doing a pretty good job of maintaining their stability here. The only thing that I might take concern to is the frame rate drop that happens sometimes in hectic situations. Now, I'm playing on PS4, so I have no way to really diagnose this on my end, but the thing that makes me slightly hesitant about this would depend on whether or not this is server lag or if it's an optimization issue for the console as a whole, the latter being much more worrying, at least in terms of difficulty to solve the problem. But hey, I'm no developer, so we'll just have to see how that plays out. The story mission is decent, and the opening cutscene is definitely movie quality, so for just that alone, if you just play this for the story, you'll probably get your money's worth out of it. The voice acting is a little overdramatic, but hey, what do you expect, right? Now, the conflict is the Division's attempt at traditional PvP, with respawns and what I assume will be objective game modes. Right now we only have skirmish as far as the time of me recording this, and it's not too terrible. It's still unfamiliar to me, but it seems like they regulate the actual damage of the weapon, but don't change any of the perks and percentages, so when we get to endgame gear, it might be possible to just dominate the playing field if you get into the lobby with low-level players. But that's pretty normal. If you equate it back to Destiny, it would be like running into Crucible with exotics, Not Forgottens, and Luna's Howls, and your opponents using green weapons. Skill can allow this green weapon user to win their engagements, but the higher level person still has a large advantage given to them from better loot. And this is normal for looter shooters, and I don't expect many problems here. However, I am interested to see how they're going to use signature weapons here, or whether or not they'll be allowed in this game mode at all. The gunplay in this mode is pretty decent, but I'm on the fence to see if it's going to be something worth me trying out in the competitive long term. If any of you have watched my other content, you know I'm super big on the competitive aspect of games, and I just don't know if this game has the feel and mechanics to compete on that level in terms of high-level PvP content. It's pretty fun, and a lot of people are equating it to a Last of Us type feel, I think from it being a slow third-person shooter, but that's too much high praise in my opinion, and I'm not going to give this the Last of Us seal of approval, because that was one of my favorite PvP games of all time, and I just don't think it cuts the mustard, so to say, to stand up with something like that. So I guess where my opinion is going to land on this is that it's a good sequel to a game in the sense that it doesn't change enough to lose that Division 1 feel, but different enough in the things that it does feel like a sequel to me. But that's probably just because I love PvP. The PvE content is pretty similar, and by that I mean almost indistinguishable from the first game, and that's either a great thing for you or a terrible one. The bullet sponges that we hated from Division 1 don't come back most prolifically until some endgame content like we were able to play yesterday, but whenever you get up into those higher tiers, the combat is extremely slow paced, there will be no running and gunning, you have to use your tactics and your engagements wisely with your teammates, and honestly that slow kind of gameplay just isn't something that I really enjoy all that much, and many people feel the same way. So, in summary, it's not a broken down mess, so if you're curious about the game, it's probably a safe investment at launch. If you didn't like the first Division, I wouldn't bother with this one. The jury is out on whether or not I'll actually be covering this game as a whole or not. I'll have to wait and see what you guys think about it, There's just a million games coming out that I want to put content out about, and I don't know if this one has what it takes to stay up on that list, or whether or not I'll actually be enjoying this game in the long term. So leave me a comment down in the description how you feel about this game and whether or not you would like to see me cover it. Like this video, it helps me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel for future content. And with that, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.